Here's the thing that like stood out to me about Mykel Williams. Some first round picks come to the first day of practice and seem like big shots. Like they want to be recognized as the best player there, or like the guy. And I remember Reuben Foster was that way. Like he had all the coaches fawning over him and he wanted it. Like if you didn't know that Mykel Williams was the first round pick, you wouldn't have known that Mykel Williams was the first round pick. And here's what I mean by that. Like they send, like there's a warm up and it's kind of weird. They have like the players hopping forward 3 steps and hopping back and hopping forward. It's really awkward. It's right in front of the media that we're like it's like 5 feet in front of us. And, everyone has to do it. He did it. And then he did the warm up where he goes over the hurdles. And he did every little thing the 49ers asked him to do.
The entire process.
The entire process. And he did it with like an upbeat attitude. And he was dapping up the teammates, people he probably never freaking knew. He was in every single rep. I mean, he was in every drill with the defensive linemen. He seemed like a guy who liked practicing, who expects to practice, who and I think that's important on a team like this because there's a lot of veterans who don't practice all the time on a team like this. So he seemed like a pro. He has the body of a 3-year vet, but he's 20. He looks like a young, mature Aldon Smith. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm not saying he's like as talented as Aldon, but he looks like Aldon and he's way more mature and grown up than Aldon really ever was.
Now, I get all of that. I hear that, right? So let me ask you a couple of questions. So he was a conscientious, like contributor. I get that. But was there attitude, right? Was there, I'm trying to be first in every drill.
He knocked over a coach.
He knocked over a coach. That's something you don't leave out, right?
He knocked over a coach. I didn't catch this. Jake Hutchinson caught it, put it online. It kind of went viral. Like, yeah, man, he's got crazy power. I mean, and that's why I would compare him to Aldon Smith. He's got crazy power.
I'm sorry. I know you were watching everybody, right? So it's hard for you to just link in on him all day, right? But were there times where sometimes when you watch a guy and he's moving kind of like, really, really upbeat, I kind of watch him all the time in the sense of, you know how when you're sucking in your gut around a cute girl and then you let it go when she walks past? You know what I'm saying? Did you see any of that? Did you see any of breaking?
He wasn't calling any attention to himself. He just seemed like he just seemed like I could see why NFL teams love these Georgia players because they seem like they're really well coached. They're pros when they get to the league. They understand that practice is required and expected, and they love the process. And it seems like they don't take anything for granted. They didn't have their butts kissed in college. They were competing for their spots. They had to hold off other 5-star recruits. I think he's going to be a really nice compliment to Nick Bosa, who at this point in his career is like, doesn't necessarily show up to all the OTAs or isn't necessarily out there for all the training camp practices. Like this guy, if you're trying to set a new culture of hard work and accountability, like he's going to be the guy that does it. The first round pick who's there every day.
One thing that I love about programs like UGA, obviously because Coach Kirby Smart came out of University of Alabama, is that it's the ultimate meritocracy on those programs, right? There's like they love on you to get you in there, right? But once you're inside of the building, you're a number, right? Mm-hmm. And you really got to fight claw, tooth, and nail to actually make a name and get an identity for yourself amongst pretty much the best players in the country. Mm-hmm. I love the way that Mykel Williams is going to be a guy that he's not going to be wowed at the fact that Nick Bosa is his teammate. He's gonna respect the position. He's gonna respect the fact that he's there, but he's gonna take from you and add on to what he already. This is a player that played through a major injury that a lot of guys would have got shut down in the week 1 game of Clemson, finished his entire year and got himself drafted damn near top 10 pick overall. So this is a guy, for me, I love him because he not only has a high ceiling, but he's got a high floor. Like just what he is now, right? Being able to set the edge, stop the run. Of course, we want to see it translate to the NFL, right? So we literally have to see it. But what he is now as a player and the attitude to boot, he can only get better. You know what I'm saying? So I love the pick. I love all of the reports that I'm hearing, and I'm excited to see more.
Prize Picks is sponsoring the Cohn Zone this year. Prize Picks is the leader in daily fantasy and the best place to win cash while watching sports. And the best part about the app is it's really easy to use. To create a lineup, all you have to do is pick more or less on a few players' stats. I'm a Niners guy. So, when I'm doing Prize Picks, I'm looking, the last couple of years, I'm looking at Deebo Samuel because I know Deebo Samuel better than Deebo Samuel knows Deebo Samuel. So if it's like drops, I'm taking more. Or if it's like punches thrown towards his long snapper on the sideline during the fourth quarter of a game the 49ers will go on to win, I'm smashing more because I know the 49ers and I'm a Prize Picks guy. Now, maybe they didn't have those exact plays, but they have so many plays that'll make your head spin. And you can play Prize Picks in over 40 states, including California and Texas. Best part about it is the new user offer. Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. So win or lose, you'll get $50 just for playing. That sounds like a win to me. Use promo code Cohn, COHN, to claim your $50 today. Tell them Grant sent you. When I go to these rookie mini camps and I'm trying to get a first impression, I'm trying to think like who looks like they're ready to contribute now. Like I can't tell who's going to develop over 2-3 years. I can't see that, but I can sort of look like who looks like a starter in the NFL because most rookies don't. And that's okay. Most rookies look like rookies. Some don't. And I'm always curious which are the 1 or 2 or 3 that don't look like rookies. And with Mykel, I was curious. Okay, you're a first round pick, but you're also 20. So are you going to look a year away or not? No, he looks like he's a 3-year vet. He looks like he's fully ready to play 75, 80, 85, 90% of this. Whatever they want him to do, I think he'll be ready to do it. Is he going to put up 10 sacks this year? I don't know. But if he gives you 6, 7, 8 sacks and elite run defense and a good all-around game, and he's out there for 80% of the snaps, it's a hell of a player. And it's a nice compliment to Bosa.
Oh, definitely. I just be forewarned, like, Grant, they can't just let him go, right? They can't just put him on the Autobahn and let him. We need him to last all year, right? Like, one of the key goals for having a player like Mykel Williams is that we need to finish the whole season with him. So I'm going to be very interested to see how what his package is, right? What is his work, right? How much will they keep him on the field, or will they just go field two? You threw me off with the eye race.
No, sorry. You said it better. The thing about him too, I feel like I'm looking at him like, when I see you, am I going to see a tweener? Am I going to see a defensive tackle or a defensive end? And at least what I saw is that's a defensive end in the NFL. And maybe he could do more in Georgia and maybe he can do more here, but he looks like a guy who really has a lot of potential staying outside and playing. I think he can develop into a true 3-down Pro Bowl defensive end. That's what he looks like. Maybe, and again, I'm not a scout. I don't know, but I think that's the future for him. I don't know about moving it, like making him Michael Bennett and having him going back and forth. I think he has a real shot to just be Jason Pierre-Paul, Alden Smith, that kind of a player.
I like that. I really do. I do see him.
But again, he's 20, man. At 23, he could look totally different.
Right. I want to see him, see what he does translate it into the NFL, right? Put him at one position, see what he can do at edge, pace him out and put more on his plate as we move forward, see what he can do on the inside. Obviously, we're going to have to actually get an offensive line that he can go up against so we can see exactly what he can do. But I'm excited. All good reports from Mykel Williams going forward.
I want to talk about him. I'm excited about him. I'm enthusiastic about him.
Let's go.
I like the way I see the vision a little bit because he's not necessarily going to be the one-on-one pass rusher that Bosa is, right? Bosa, you don't need to put him in a game, in a twist. You don't need to tell him what to do. He's got his own plan. He'll figure it out. He'll get to the quarterback eventually. With Mykel, I feel like on third down, what Saleh likes to do, he likes to do those 3-by-1 splits where 3 D linemen are on one side of the center and one guy's way over there. Like that'll be Bosa way over there. But on the 3D line side, like you can do all kind of games and stuff with Mykel. And I think he'll be way better at that stuff than Bosa isn't particularly good running a twist. Like he might slip and fall. He wants to be in that track stance and get after the offensive tackle. Mykel Williams is really good running those twists like Alden Smith. Again, if you're 17 and you don't know who Alden Smith, go back and watch how he would get sacks. A lot of times he was completely unblocked rushing through the freaking A gap because Justin Smith tied up people and Alden Smith was just that agile.
Well, another thing that I love about Mykel Williams, we talked about this earlier in the conversation we had, which was his athleticism, just his ability to run out in space, his ability to carry a large surface area. That's going to translate right away. Him being able to carry down the flat, cover a screen, turn around and go and react on a tunnel screen that goes over his head, batten down passes. I mean, he's really
Yeah.
going to cover
Yep.
down, and then he's really going to cover an entire side of the field. Being able, I understand where they used him at Georgia, and a lot of that is just formal process because you just have so much daggum talent
Yep.
on the field. And you have to do that stuff in order to get guys to the and highlight what they can do. But as far as a role is concerned, I could see him making a really serious role at that edge role for us. And I think we're gonna see him do things that we didn't know that we even wanted from Nick Bosa
Yeah.
before. Being able to turn and react and chase down quarterbacks in open speed. We already talked about this. Nick Bosa in a phone booth, explosive, right?
Mhm.
In a 5 to 10 yard area, he's not the guy you want. But if you get 10 yards away from him and get him running, those quads look a little clunky running down the field, right? So I mean, Mykel is more of a natural runner. I think he's going to do well.
Make this your best season yet with nutritious 2-minute meals from Factor. Eating well has never been this easy. Just heat up and enjoy, giving you more time to do what you want. Get outside instead of prepping and cooking indoors. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your goals. Choose from Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Factor powers your day with satisfying breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. It's easy to savor more this spring. Factor meals factor in the flavor with none of the fuss. Get started at factormeals.com/Cohn50off and use code Cohn50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's Cohn50off at factormeals.com/Cohn50off for 50% off plus free shipping. He's got those long arms too. Here's the thing, like Mykel, he could have a huge impact on this defense because when it starts week 1, I don't think offenses are really going to be scared of him. They're going to be scared of Bosa, and they're going to look at Mykel and be like, "Cool, you're good. We know you can stop the run. We'll take that into account, but you got a lot to prove as a pass rusher." If he can come out of the gate and make an impact, because he's going to get one-on-ones and he's going to be in these twists and stunts, and I'm sure Salah's going to have a plan for him. If he can make an impact right away and force offenses to be scared of him too, now you got 2 edge rushers. Like now you're pretty close to having an elite defense. Like if he can establish himself early, the Niners could be really good this year. I mean, Alden Smith did it. Let's see if he can do it.
But you know what?
He looks like he's ready. I don't know. We'll see.
This last take is a perfect segue into the next guy who I hope you have up, even though he didn't participate.